Little controversial here, so listen up. You do not lose money in trucking when an accident happens. What do you mean? You lose money when the claim happens, right? Two fleets, they can have the same exact crash. One walks away bruised but alive, the other bleeds for years. Okay, today I'm gonna break down the 5 most common logistics insurance claims, why they keep happening, and how smart operators avoid them before the paperwork ever starts, okay? If you run trucks, this matters more than your next load, I promise, so listen up. Before we get into the list, okay, one grounding truth. Insurance claims, they're not random events. They're predictable failures. The same pattern shows up again and again across owner-operators, small fleets, and even large carriers, okay? If you fix the pattern, you shrink the claim count. You shrink the claim count, and everything else gets much, much cheaper down the line. Let's start out with one that quietly destroys your renewals. Cargo damage claims, okay? This is the most common logistics insurance claim there is, okay? And probably the most misunderstood, okay? Cargo damage typically does not mean catastrophic, okay? The whole load is gone, okay? It usually means crushed pallets, okay? Water intrusion, temperature deviation for those guys. Load shift, improper securement, okay? Most cargo claims, well, they're not really road problems. They're process problems. Here's what actually causes them, if you're curious. Okay, rushed loading, huge. Poor load inspection. No photos before departure. Drivers accepting bad freight because they're trying to keep moving. Okay, I get it. Here's a playbook. Document every single time, okay? Photos before the seal, photos after the seal. Train your drivers to refuse the damaged freight. Okay, I understand they're under pressure. Even so, match cargo coverage to the actual value of the load, not the contract minimum, okay? If you haul reefer, hazmat, high value loads, you skip this, well, you're gambling. You're not operating. Cargo claims are not bad luck. They really aren't. Cargo claims and cargo damage is usually baked in before the truck even moves. Again, you got bad pallets, you got rushed docks, zero documentation to the damage, not the highway. The fix is boring and consistent, and that's why it works. Now let's talk about the claim that scares the insurance companies the most. Auto liability claim. This is where those nuclear verdicts live. One crash can turn into a 7-figure lawsuit, even when your driver is not clearly at fault, okay? Auto liability claims are not about accidents. They're about the narratives, okay? Here's what the jurors sees. Well, they see driver behavior, company culture, safety discipline, data consistency. What kills fleets typically? Incomplete logs, inconsistent policies, poor post-accident responses, dash cam footage that contradicts your own story. Here's a little avoidance playbook. You enforce speed, following distances, distraction rules every day. Okay, you use telematics consistently, not selectively, have a written post-accident protocol and train to it. Okay, a crash without any kind of context is super dangerous. A crash with clean data is survivable. Think about that. Safety tech is big right now. Safety tech alone, however, will not save you. Dash cams and sensors, well, they're not there to protect you. Okay, discipline is what does that. If your policies are sloppy, technology will expose you faster than it's gonna help you. So the next time that a claim looks small, but quietly positions itself, you have to trust. Number 3, bobtail claims. This is big. If one owner hits operators, it hits lease drivers hard. Okay, it usually happens when a driver's in between the loads. Okay, the truck is being repositioned. Your coverage lines are kind of unclear between, am I a motor carrier? Am I a driver? Okay, these claims, well, they expose responsibility, but it is blurry at the same time, and insurers, well, they hate this ambiguity, okay? The courts, they actually punish it. Here's a little playbook on this. Clearly define on-duty versus off-duty use. Okay, assign lease agreements with insurance terms. Huge, okay? Make sure, please make sure drivers, that they understand when coverage switches. When does my coverage apply? If your driver does not know when they're covered, well, neither does your insurer. It's that simple. Now the claim category. Most fleets, I would say they underestimate the most, okay? Until it's entirely too late. Now the claim category that most fleets literally understate until it's way too late. Physical damage claims. Okay, this is trucks, trailers, terminals, and equipment. Collisions with objects, jackknives, weather damage, theft. Could be things like fire, okay? Physical damage claims, well, they spike during stress, during peak seasons, bad weather, driver shortages, maintenance shortcuts to get on the road. Here's the avoidance playbook. Preventative maintenance, this is actually enforced, okay? Yard and terminal safety, driver's training, on low speed maneuvering perhaps. Keep in mind most physical damage happens below the highway speed anyway. Here are 3 signs your fleet is drifting towards claims: more mirror strikes, more yard damage, more minor repairs, okay? Those are not small problems. Those are early warning. And now the claim category reshaping premium costs across the entire industry. Workers' compensation. Injuries do not need crashes. They're slips, they're falls, okay? They're lifting injuries, okay? Repetitive strains. Workers' comp claims, well, they rise when fatigue rises. Long hours, rushed schedules, poor training. The avoidance playbook for these type of claims is enforcing rest, not just hours of service compliance. You teach safe entry and exit from the cab. Address near-miss injuries before they become claim. A safe driver is not just a driver who avoids these accidents, but it's one who can work, okay, tomorrow when you need them the most. The cheapest claim is the one you stop early. Track these near-miss injuries, fix them immediately. Waiting turns $500 problems into $50,000 ones. Let's zoom out for a second. These 5 claims, well, they share one thing. They're operational failures first. Okay, insurance events really second. The fleets that win, well, they're gonna train relentlessly. They're gonna document absolutely everything. They're gonna treat insurance as part of the operations, not as like a backup plan. Quick note for context, Weed Valley are trucking insurance experts. And this is what we see every single day. Okay, the best insurance programs, honestly to God, they belong to the fleets that think like operators, not gamblers. Here's the real takeaway. Claims shape your future more than the revenue does, really, okay? They determine your renewal pricing, your carrier options, who you can go to, your ability to haul premium freight with good brokers. Your long-term survival, you cannot outdrive the bad systems. If this was useful, share it with somebody running trucks who thinks that claims are just part of the business. Well, guess what? They're not. They're warnings. Appreciate it. See you next time.